from the betting capital of the world. Giving raw and real breakdowns of mixed martial arts and recapping UFC events like no one else, with producer Martin on the ones and twos and combat sports betting expert Effie. You're listening to Any Action Sportscast. Any Action Sportscast. So put your headphones on and let's take this podcast to the next level.
This isn't a podcast. It's a sportscast.
What is up, guys? We are back. It's your boy Effie with Any Action Sportscast, here for the most stacked pay-per-view of the year, UFC 285 Johnny Bones Jones versus Ciryl Gane. And I am ecstatic for this card. I haven't been this excited for a pay-per-view in a long time because we have the GOAT, the best of all time, the best fighter ever, coming back to try to get his second belt, Johnny Bones Jones, as he takes on former heavyweight champion Ciryl Gane. A very interesting fight. Johnny Bones, in my opinion, is going to lose. He's on upset alert. We'll get into that in a second. But guys, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 175 subscribers, and we're going to get to 200 soon. So far this year, we're up 6.5 units, and we're trying to make profit on this stacked card, man. There's a ton of opportunities to bet. We're actually going to do things a little bit different this week, guys. We have a 3.5 unit parlay already, a 4-legger, which we'll talk about here soon. And we're going to add on to it. We're going to add 2 fights to every leg of that parlay. We're going to try and do a progressive parlay for this card. And so, yeah, man, without any further ado, let's get right into it. In the main event, we have John Bones Jones taking on Ciryl Gane. John Bones Jones obviously comes in undefeated, 26-0. That should be an O right there. But Ciryl 26-1, Ciryl Gane 11-1. Both guys have only lost one time. Neither guy has ever been finished. Johnny Bones Jones comes in as a favorite, -160. While Ciryl Gane comes in as an underdog, +135. Johnny Bones Jones will be 35 years old, coming off a 3-year layoff. Ciryl Gane, 32 years old, coming off his win to Ivasa 5 months ago in London. Then we have both guys, 6'4", which is something new for John Jones. But he still, as always, will have a 3.5-inch reach advantage over Ciryl Gane. Now, I mentioned earlier that how I feel like John Jones is on upset alert. But I want to make the case for him before I make the case for Ciryl Gane and why I think he's going to win. So the big thing with this fight is obviously everyone knows it was a terrible look when Ciryl Gane got out-wrestled by a one-legged Francis Ngannou. I thought it was a worse look that we all found out that Francis was in there with one functioning knee, and he still out-grappled Ciryl Gane to that level. I will say, though, that was a close fight, and if it wasn't for one mistake on the mat, Ciryl Gane trying to sit down on a heel hook and getting reversed for it, he would have won that fight, and we would have been sitting here talking very differently about this fight, in my opinion. And John Jones, I mean, can't even begin to compare Francis Ngannou's wrestling to John Jones. Ciryl Gane's never really had to fight a wrestler like this, a wrestler with good as wrestling as John Jones, or as a credentialed wrestler, I should say, because, I mean, look at his opponent, Ciryl Gane. Gary Rodenstreak, nope, not going to wrestle. Alexander Volkov, kickboxer. Derek Lewis, I mean, come on, it's Derek Lewis. Francis Ngannou out-wrestled him to a win for 3 rounds to the shock of everybody. And Tai Tuivasa, obviously another striker. Man, it's just that John Jones is so smart. That's one thing I love to do in fighting, betting on guys with a higher fight IQ. And he's the master. He is the guy. He is the #1 example of a guy with high fight IQ. He knows how to win rounds. He knows when it's a close striking round, 50-50, to implore his grappling. Even if he doesn't get successful on the takedowns, to be the guy in the control, initiating the clinch, doing damage with knees in the clinch. The guy is a perfect fighter, guys. Thing is, I think he's going to lose this fight. He hasn't fought in 3 years, okay? And I know for as much as I just talked about the wrestling, I actually think that he won't be as successful in the wrestling as a lot of people think. Go watch the grappling exchanges in his last 2 fights alone, just Dominic Reyes and Thiago Santos. There was moments where he was trying to get these guys down and couldn't. He was getting denied on a few takedowns, and if he did succeed, the guys were getting back up quick. Dominic Reyes is not the same physical person as Ciryl Gane, neither is Thiago Santos. So Thiago Santos had no functioning knees in that fight. Forget Francis Ngannou with his one knee. Thiago Santos got his leg kicked so bad by John Jones that he had 2 torn ACLs and had to get reconstructive knee surgery after the fight. And that went to a split decision, man. Like, he even couldn't finish him. So we haven't seen John Jones in 3 years, right? So my thing with this is, how is he going to look speed-wise? I don't think that he's going to be as fast as we think. I think that Ciryl Gane will be the quicker fighter here. It's tricky, though, because the way Ciryl Gane fights, right? He loves to throw kicks. He loves to go to the body and likes to throw side kicks to the body. Gane obviously loves his push kick to the knee right there, the oblique kick. Very dangerous strike. Underrated in my opinion. And he's hard to hit. Jon Jones's chin has saved him in fights where I don't think it's going to save him here. The reason I bring up those kicks from Ciryl Gane is Francis did catch one and was able just to bum rush him and power forward and take him down from there. So the amount of kicks Ciryl Gane likes to throw worries me because it gives Jon so many opportunities to catch and get him down. I definitely don't think that Jon's going to be looking to catch and then counterpunch. I think he's going to be looking to catch and take him down right away. I think that we see Ciryl Gane win a striking fight. I think this goes all 5 rounds. I don't see either guy getting finished in this fight. If it happens, I think it's because one of them gasses out. And I think that might be Ciryl, if anything. I have no reason to think Jon Jones will gas out in this fight. He's taking his sweet time, getting here. It's been 10 years, guys, since Jon Jones teased the idea of going up to heavyweight. Now he's finally doing it in 2023. And it's just wild to think that. I remember there was a quote after COVID. Dana White said that the fan viewership in the UFC got multiplied by a matter of 80, right? So there was 80 times more fans watching after COVID than there were before. And I was like, oh, that's insane. So his whole point was that there's a whole new wave of fight fans, really. And because there's nothing else to watch, right? UFC was the only sport continuing, really. And that is insane because that means that there's a ton of fans out there that have never seen Jon Jones fight. That's wild to me, man. He's obviously, in my opinion, the GOAT. If he loses this fight, he's the GOAT. If he wins this fight, he's the GOAT. If he wins the fight, he's definitely the GOAT. You can't even bring it up anymore. But guys, my favorite fighter is Khabib, and I know that Jon Jones is the GOAT. I bet you Khabib would even say that Jon Jones is the GOAT. I just don't think that, man. We haven't seen him in 3 years. He's 35 years old. I don't think the speed's going to be there. I don't think that he's going to be as fast with that extra weight on him. And I think that he's going to get frustrated here trying to grapple Ciryl Gane. I think right away, if you look at what Jon's has been saying before the fight, he's saying everything like what you would want to hear. He's saying all the right things. He's saying this isn't a kickboxing match. He's never wrestled someone like me. He's never had to wrestle someone like me. Never been pushed into deep waters. He's training with young guys and giving them shit for his training partners. But bro, I think it was the UFC Countdown. Jon Jones has terrible training partners as well. He got kicked out of Jackson Week for power slapping his wife. And now he's training with people like Jorgen De Castro and Maurice Green, dude. Like, are you kidding me? That's terrible. I mean, I get it. Ciryl Gane's not training with anyone either in France, but I was shocked that Jon was trying to hype his training partners up. Like, those guys suck. They got kicked out of the UFC for sucking so much and losing so many fights. But that's besides the point. I don't want to spend too much time on this fight because there's a ton of so many bangers on this card, guys. But I want to give Jon his respect. I said that I'm picking Gane. I don't know if I'm going to be betting Gane yet at that line. I think it's going to keep moving, man. At plus 130, I was ready to bet on Ciryl Gane. It's already at plus 135. I'm seeing 40, so I'm going to let that line balloon, man. I think Jon Jones gets upset, and we see Ciryl Gane become the heavyweight champion and new. UFC 285's co-main event will be between Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso for the women's flyweight belt. The champ comes in with a 23-3 record, currently sitting as a massive 625 favorite. Alexa Grasso comes in with a 15-3 record, currently sitting as a massive plus 450 underdog. Now, the champ is approaching 35 years old, while the challenger will be in her prime, 29 years old, similar height and reach for both fighters. Man, this is unfortunate because I think that Grasso has no chance, man. Obviously, I want to see the Mexican fighter win and have some success here, but I'm not giving her any chance to win this fight because the way this is going to play out is this is going to be a striking fight for 25 minutes. And the way you want to beat Valentina Shevchenko, apparently, is via grappling, man. We all saw her in her last fight where she arguably lost, dude. Talia Santos, she was scheduled to fight Erin Blanchfield here last weekend. Dude, she had her back, man. She took Valentina down and she outgrappled her a lot in that fight. And I thought she was going to get the upset there. Valentina ended up winning and defending her belt, but it was close, dude. And that's the thing with Alexa Grasso. She is nowhere near the grappler of Valentina. Valentina can ragdoll her if she wants to in this fight. She could also win very easily a 25-minute stand-up fight. So for that reason, I think that Alexa Grasso has absolutely no chance in this fight. And that line reflects it, dude. Valentina Shevchenko is one part of the leg of our four-legger that we have 3.57 units on. She's one of the legs for sure because I think that she's going to smoke Grasso here. I think that she's going to win a decision. I think that it's going to go the distance. I think next fight, though, might be the time to start fading Shevchenko here. If this was Blanchfield, I probably would bet Blanchfield. If it was Santos in a rematch, I'd probably bet Santos. Shevchenko, man, she's not going to lose this fight. I literally would be shocked if she loses this fight, man. She's going to be the better striker here. She's going to be the better grappler here. She should dominate this fight 100% from start to finish. Give me Valentina Shevchenko to win via decision. Up next, we have a banger of a fight in the welterweight division, probably the most anticipated fight on the card other than the main event for me. We have Geoff Hands of Steel Neal taking on undefeated Shavkat Rakhmonov. And I know you guys see it. I know you guys see it on the screen. Shavkat Rakhmonov rocking that dead animal on his head. Guys, when someone walks through the octagon with those funny furry looking hats, you bet on that person, man. Those funny dead animal hats, Shavkat is one of them, though. For real, let's get to the fight, though. Geoff Neal, 15-4, comes in as a huge plus 380 underdog. I was shocked to see this, but not really. Shavkat Rakhmonov, 16-0, 16 finishes, 8 knockouts, 8 submissions. I mean, this guy is like a made-up fighter. Minus 500 as a heavy favorite. 4-0 in the UFC, getting a big-time test in Geoff Neal, coming off beating Neil Magny in a very good performance where he got the submission choke. Man, so Shavkat Rakhmonov, this is a guy where he's just so well-rounded and has such good fight IQ that I'm not going to get in front of him. He's another leg on our parlay. We have 3.5 units essentially on him, 5.7 units on him. Geoff Neal is not a bum, though. I know he's 15-4 coming in as a plus 380 underdog, but he's live, dude. This guy can crack. As far as the legs on the parlay, I'm most worried about this one because of how good Geoff Neal is. I really respect his skill set. He's not a bum at all, dude. He has really good hands, a lot of power in his hands, good defensive grappling, never really uses his offensive grappling. The one thing I will say, though, is that fight against Neil Magny, I know it was almost 2 years ago, but there was moments in that fight against the clinch that he was just losing, and that's one thing that Shavkat's really good at, whether it be getting trips from the clinch or just trying to land elbows and knees in the clinch. He's very dangerous inside the clinch, and if he takes you down from the clinch along the cage, I worry for Geoff Neal, man. I really do. I think that Shavkat Rakhmonov is likely to win a decision and get extended for the first time in his UFC career, or get a submission here because I don't know, man. He throws a ton of volume. Shavkat does, but he's not very dumb with it. He does a lot of spinning stuff, but he doesn't put himself in a lot of bad positions, and that's one thing that almost works against him here because we've never seen him really tested in the UFC. Never really seen him bleed. Never really seen him get pushed, and just that he's just so in control in all his fights. This guy is a beast, man. What else can I say? Give me Shavkat Rakhmonov as another leg in that parlay that we were talking about. Because I really do think that he's either going to finish Neal late in this fight with a submission or get his first ever decision win in the UFC. Up next is another banger of a fight, this time in the lightweight division between short notice Mateusz Gamrot and Jalin Turner. Gamrot comes in with a 21-2 record, while Jalin Turner comes in with a 13-5 record. Now, as you can see right there on the screen, it says Mateusz is a minus 170 favorite. This has now been steamed as Gamrot is all the way to minus 210. Jalin Turner on the other side, it says on the screen, plus 145. You can currently get him around plus 165, plus 170. Now, obviously, tail of the tape, big part of this fight, right? Short notice for Gamrot. We'll get to that in a second. 32 years old for Gamrot, 27 for Turner, so it'll be 5 years younger. And look at this, guys. Jalin Turner, a 6'3", 155er. Absolutely unbelievable. 6'3" at 155, that's just a joke. Fighting a 5'10", Gamrot there, so obviously going to be way taller and have a way longer reach. 75-inch reach is insane compared to Gamrot's 70. I actually met Jalin Turner. I met him at UFC 278. And yeah, dude, he's really, really tall. So I'm 6'2". He's probably the same height as me in shoes. And I stood next to him and we went arms wide to see who had the longer wingspan. And he did. So I was shocked, man. No, I was really pumped to see Jalin Turner fight again. It sucks that he was gonna fight Dan Hooker, and Dan Hooker got injured, so now Gamrot's taking a short notice fight against Turner because I thought he was gonna kill Dan Hooker. I thought he was gonna obliterate him and KO him, or at least finish him. And I was ready to bet big on Turner against Dan Hooker. And this fight, Mateusz, is 100% the opposite fight. Like Gamrot, all he is a wrestler. All he does is wrestle. He'll wrestle. He'll shoot 20 takedowns in a fight. He doesn't care. If he doesn't get one, he'll get the next one. If he doesn't get that, he'll shoot again. This guy's going to try to get you down at will. And if you're fighting someone that's 5 inches taller than you, or no, 5 years younger than you, who has what, like 5-inch reach advantage over you, about 5 inches taller than you, I mean, I'm going to be wanting to wrestle you too. So I expect Gamrot to want to wrestle right when the fight starts, right away. I don't even know if he's going to touch gloves, how I think he's going to wrestle. It's just that Jalin Turner is super long, right? So he has these really long arms, really long legs, obviously. So he's going to be live to snatch up a guillotine here if Gamrot is lazy with his takedown entries. Because he's going to be shooting a lot, man. He's going to be putting his head right into his chest all fight. Because I don't think he's going to want any second of the stand-up here for Turner. Which is why I like the under 2.5 rounds in this fight. It hasn't dropped in my books yet, but as soon as that line drops, I'm going to be betting the under 2.5 in this fight because I think Gamrot can submit Turner, and I think that Turner can knock out and submit Gamrot. Well, I don't know about submit. It would have to be a club and sub, but Like, he would have to rock Gamrot first to get that, but because Gamrot's obviously a supremely good level grappler, probably top 3 in the lightweight division. One thing I will say, though, is that Turner does like to go for guillotines, and that might cost him here, kind of like it cost Rafael Alves last week, where you go for the guillotine. I mean, if you get it, obviously, great, everything, but if you don't, you usually tire yourself out and gas your arms out and give up position, and I worry that might happen for Turner. So we actually bet on Gamrot at -190. We put 1.5 units on him because I just think that the wrestling's too much. I learned my lesson last week. This Gamrot striking isn't terrible. He's coming off losing to Beneil Dariush, where even he'll tell you, he was doing an interview and he said he was too one-dimensional, and I think that he is too one-dimensional. Not even just in that fight, but in general. But I don't think Turner has the wrestling for Gamrot. He was taken down and controlled by Frivoli, got taken down by Malarkey. Neither of those guys are the same level as Gamrot, but those are a while ago. It's on the run, man. Turner's on the run. He's doing really good, man. Brock Weaver finished him, finished Kuliabao, finished Mektic. Mektic's probably the best winner out of those 3. Malarkey finished him and then finished Brad Riddell. The way he did Riddell in like a minute, like literally 1 minute into that fight, that was insane. But yeah, I'm super high on Turner, man. I was ready to bet big on him against Hooker, but I just think that this matchup is a bad matchup. This is a complete 180 from the fight he was going to get with Hooker, and I don't think that he was training his wrestling, and it's going to cost him here, man. So, I mean, that kind of sounds bad to say out loud, but like, I don't think that he was game planning on someone to just go out there and wrestle for 15 minutes. So, I think that's going to be a little bit of a shell shock for him, and I think Gamrot wins this short notice fight. So, give me 1.5 units on Gamrot at -190, and I think he wins, man. I think he wins the submission round 2. And up next, we have a middleweight fight between Jamie Pickett and Bo Nickal. Jamie Pickett is getting sacrificed here. He comes in with a 13-8 record, fighting Bo Nickal, undefeated prospect, 3-0. Pickett comes in as a biggest underdog on the card at +900, while Bo Nickal, biggest favorite we've seen all year, at -1600. I wouldn't be surprised to see him around -2000 by the time the fight starts. He's going to be in everyone's parlay, including ours. I think he finishes Jamie Pickett here, and it's not going to be hard at all. He's going to be 7 years younger, pretty much same height and reach. He's going to be a 4-inch reach disadvantage to Pickett, but it's not going to matter here, man. So, Bo Nickal, I mean, we all know this guy. 3-time Hodge Trophy winner, national champion at Penn State. The guy's wrestling's elite. Could be in the Olympics, but he's not. He's MMA. He's doing MMA now. It's crazy, man. If you look at his record, he's 3-0, and he has less than 5 minutes of control time. Or, I mean, fight time. Professional fight time. He's fought for less than 3 minutes. Donovan Beard, 1 round, 52 seconds. Zach Borrego, 1 round, 1 minute and 2 seconds. And John Nolan, 1 round, 33 seconds. I mean, this guy is just working people. I will say that 2 of those guys, they look like they just got off of their Pizza Hut shifts. Like, they look like guys off the street that they fought. They needed him to fight that night, and they got him easy wins. But even on the Contender Series, his jiu-jitsu looked good, man. The way he got that submission was very quick. And that impressed me. Like, I knew he's good, but I was like, holy crap, that was really good. Only 4 months ago, now they're getting Jamie Pickett, probably the worst fighter in this division. He's going to get cut after he loses this fight, and Jamie Pickett's probably going to lose in the first round. I think Bo Nickal takes him down, submits him in the first round, or grounds and pounds him in the first round, and it becomes light work. I hope he gets on the mic and has a sick promo. Let's go, Bo Nickal. He's on our parlay. Up next, we have a bantamweight fight between Cody No Love Garbrandt and Trevin 5-Star Jones. Cody No Love comes in with a 12-5 record, 1-4 in his last 5 fights, currently sitting as a -165 favorite. Trevin Jones comes in 13-9, 1-4 in his last 4 fights, currently sitting as a +140 underdog. Trevin Jones will be 1 year older, be 1 inch shorter, and have a 5.5-inch reach advantage over Cody No Love here. Man, this is a tough fight to call because on one hand, obviously we all know Cody No Love is getting knocked out left and right here. Knocked out by Tito Dillashaw, knocked out by Pedro Munoz. He ended up knocking out Rafael Assunção, and then lost the decision to Rob Font, which in my opinion is not that bad of a loss. And then got brutally knocked out by Kai France when he went down a weight class. Other side, though, you have Trevin Jones. I know it seems right there on the screen. He only has 1 win in his last 5 fights. But this no contest to Timur Valiev should be a win. He knocked out Timur very viciously. That's actually a really good win, in my opinion. But I think he got caught for like weed or something stupid, and they turned it to a no contest. But he really did win that fight. This guy has a lot of power in his hands. Very dangerous striker. He knocked out Mario Batista, who's also a very dangerous striker. This is a really good win to have. And his 3-fight losing streak that he is on, they're all good fighters, man. Saeed Kakramanov, good fighter. I know he got cut, but he's definitely a good grappler. David Bashrat, very good fighter. And then Ryan Barcelos, very good fighter as well. That's not a bad 3-fight losing streak. So if he loses, I don't think he gets cut. And Cody Garbrandt, man, he's running out of chances here. Trevin Jones, though, is probably the perfect matchup here. He's on short notice, and he just doesn't throw enough volume here to really be a threat to Cody. I know he does have some power, Jones. But I'm going with Cody No Love here. I just think that he's way more experienced. I think that he is a better overall fighter. He's fought way high-level guys, and it's a desperation moment, man. He really needs to win. This reminds me of Alexander Hernandez versus Jim Miller, where this dude like desperately needs to win. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do with this guy if he loses. He might be in PFL here soon. Give me Cody Garbrandt to win. I might find myself wagering on this because I just think that he's a better fighter. I understand Trevin Jones is a puncher's chance here, but he just doesn't throw enough volume, and I don't think he's going to out-wrestle Cody Garbrandt here. If anything, I think Cody Garbrandt is going to have the grappling advantage over Trevin Jones. So I think that he has more paths to win here, whether it be decision or just using, his grappling to, extend the fight here or try to get a knockout. Give me Cody Garbrandt to win via decision. Next, we have a middleweight fight between Derek Brunson and Dricus du Plessis. Brunson comes in with a 23-8 record, currently sitting as a plus 200 underdog. Dricus comes in with an 18-2 record, currently sitting as a minus 240 favorite. There is a significant age gap in this fight, guys, as Derek Brunson will be 39 years old, a whole 10 years older than the 29-year-old du Plessis. The South African will be 10 years younger. Both guys 6'1", 77-inch reach for Derek Brunson, and a 76-inch reach for du Plessis. I'm going with du Plessis here. I think that he's going to finish Derek Brunson. Du Plessis has only been to one decision in his career. And man, he really goes for the kill early, guys. The gas tank issue, is worrisome. He doesn't have the best one, but it just seems that he has enough to put you out, man. Against Darren Till, he almost got him out there in that first round. Essentially lost the second round and ended up getting it late in that fight, which is a decision to Bad Tavares for the first time in his career, I believe. He ends up, finishing Giles, beat Marcus Perez. The guy's just a beast. Derek Brunson on the other side, he was on a run before losing his last fight against Kenan, where he looked good in the beginning of that fight, but the longer it went, Kenan is just too strong and too powerful for him. And also, he gassed out. Derek Brunson, he's getting up there in age, and I don't think that he has the gas tank to grapple du Plessis for 3 rounds, 3 5-minute rounds. Because I think that Brunson will have success grappling. He is a better grappler than du Plessis early. But the farther the fight goes, the more it gets extended, middle, later rounds, I think du Plessis will be able to defend enough and keep this on the feet to where he's finishing Derek Brunson. I think that he gets a knockout either in the second or third round. Give me Dricus du Plessis to win via knockout. Up next in the women's flyweight division, we have Viviane Araujo taking on Amanda Ribas. Araujo comes in with an 11-4 record, currently sitting as a plus 110 underdog. Amanda Ribas comes in with a 10-3 record, currently sitting as a minus 130 favorite. There is another significant age gap in this fight, guys, as Amanda Ribas will be 7 years younger than Araujo at 29 years old, while Araujo is 36. That is worrisome. She is, Araujo, though, 1 inch taller and have a 2-inch reach advantage over Ribas. Both girls 3-2 in their last 5 fights, but I'm a bit more impressed with Araujo, actually. I know they both lost to Kayla Chikagian, and Amanda Ribas almost beat her. I had a ticket on Kayla Chikagian to win via decision, and I thought I lost that ticket. I'm just not sold on Ribas, though. She seems to struggle with better strikers, and I think that Viviane will be the better striker here. In the grappling, I think it's pretty 50-50. In the clinch, I think it's going to be 50-50. Ribas has really good judo tosses, but I don't think that's going to work here on Araujo. If Araujo does get taken down via judo toss, I think that she's going to be able to reverse positions or at least scramble out because, like I said, man, I'm just not that impressed with Amanda Ribas. It's pretty surprising to see that she as the favorite. I figured this would be a pick'em. I'm going with the underdog. I don't know if I'm betting on her, but give me Araujo. It is worrisome that she is 36 years old and she does have a bit of a gas tank issue against Araujo. Lee. She really slowed down that third round, even though she won. Against Grasso, she's lost. She's not as good as fighter as Celeste Grasso, and she had no answers for the striking. Lost to Kayla Chikagian, so did Ribas, and beat Monteferi and De La Rosa. Not betting this fight, staying away from this fight. If you're gonna bet whoever you think's gonna win to win via decision. I don't think either girl's gonna finish the other one. Give me Araujo to win via decision because ultimately I'm just not sold on Amanda Ribas yet. Up next, we have a middleweight fight between Julian Marquez and Marc-André Barriault. Marquez comes in with a 9-3 record, currently sitting as a plus 105 underdog. Barriault comes in with a 14-6 record, currently sitting as a minus 125 favorite. Pretty similar tail of the tape here, 32 years old to 33, 6'2 to 6'1, 72-inch reach to a 74-inch reach. Both guys 3-2 in their last 5 fights. Man, this is going to be a close-ass fight, guys. Definitely don't want to bet on this fight. I'm just going to pass and enjoy it as a fan because it's going to be a banger. Both guys can, put you down and have a really good power in their hands. I think I'd go with Julian Marquez as far as having more power. He's not as defensively sound as I'd like him to be. And Marc-André Barriault, we saw him get viciously knocked out by Chidi and Chikwanu. So that makes me wonder, is he chinny or is that just like a freak knockout by a freak athlete in Chidi? I tend to lean the latter there. I think that Marc-André, minus 125, I'm definitely not touching that because I think Julian's a very well-rounded fighter. It is, though, worrisome that he was controlled and out-grappled by Pitolo for moments in that fight. I've seen Maki Pitolo fight in person, and he was not impressive, at all. And so, I don't know. I don't think that Marc-André is going to come out here and just ragdoll Marquez and put the singlet on and just try to wrestle him. I think that's going to be a standing fight for most of the fight, and what should be a 50-50 fight. And Wouldn't be surprised to see someone get knocked out here, so I'm just going to watch it as a fan. My pick, though, will be Marc-André. I'm not going to be betting, like I said. Give me Marc-André to win the second round knockout in what should be a very closely contested and exciting fight. Up next is the fourth and final leg of our 3.57 unit parlay as we take Ian Garry to defeat Kenan Song. Ian Garry comes in 10-0, highly touted prospect, currently sitting as a minus 650 favorite. Kenan Song comes in 19-6, currently sitting as a massive 420 underdog. There will be another significant age gap in this fight as Ian Garry will walk into the cage at 25 years old, while Song walks in at 32. Ian Garry will be 6'3", Song 6 foot. Ian Garry's 74-inch reach compared to Song's 71.5-inch reach. So Garry will be 7 years younger and significantly the bigger fighter in this fight. I think he finishes Song. We haven't seen Song fight in over a year, almost 2 years now since he got knocked out by Max Griffin. He does have a lot of experience. He is 19-6, but all three of his wins right here are all against the guys that are not in the UFC anymore. Even got lost to Morono here. I just think that Ian Garry is ascending, man. I love betting on guys like this. We call them blue chip prospects, and he's just ascending. His game's getting better every time you see him perform. I actually kind of doubted him against Gabe Green. I thought this was going to be a way closer fight than it was, and he just pieced him apart. Defeated Darion Weeks, and I actually thought that was going to be close. And whatever, he was getting his feet under him. Knocked out Jordan Williams, not in the UFC. Yeah, give me Ian Garry to knock out Kenan Song. I think he's a better striker. Like I said, he's showing improvements every time. I love that he's at Kill Cliff FC. Great gym. And I just expect a lot of good things out of Ian Garry. I think that it's funny that he's on the prelims, not on the pay-per-view. So, whatever. Maybe he wants to put on a show for the fans. I think he remains undefeated, and I think he gets us this knockout in the I want to say first round. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that Ian Garry knocks him out in the first round. Up next, we have Mana Martinez and Cameron Saaiman. Mana Martinez comes in with a 10-3 record, currently sitting as a plus 210 underdog. Cameron Saaiman comes in undefeated. A 7-0 record, currently sitting as a minus 250 favorite. This line is getting wider as money is coming in on Saaiman. Saaiman will be 22 years old, very young UFC fighter compared to Mana Martinez, older at 26. Mana Martinez will be taller at 5'10 compared to Cameron Saaiman, 5'8. And Mana Martinez will have a 70-inch reach compared to Cameron Saaiman's 67-inch reach. Mana Martinez will be 2 inches taller and have a 3-inch reach advantage over the undefeated South African. And I really wanted to pick Mana Martinez in this fight. He's a very dangerous striker, really good leg kicks, can really chop this kid down. And I would just low-key have not been impressed with him. I know he's undefeated. Guys winning Contender Series, finished that fight, and he also finished Steven Kozlo, who's on short notice. But dude, he was doing bad in both those fights. I'll be honest, I did not think he was doing that good in those fights up until the finish. Mana Martinez coming off beating Brandon Davis, and he got controlled and taken down a bunch of times by Ronnie Lawrence. So I feel like a lot of people are just discrediting his takedown defense and assume he's gonna get mauled here by Cameron Saaiman. Cameron Saaiman was losing grappling minutes to Steven Kozlo. Not very, I guess, impressive, or doesn't give me very much hope for him to come out and just out-grapple Mana Martinez. I understand Ronnie Lawrence had a lot of success in that realm, but Ronnie Lawrence is a very high-level grappler, guys. Give me Cameron Saaiman to win, but that price tag is insane. Like I said, I thought I was going to be betting on Mana Martinez here, but I just can't get in front of this 22-year-old undefeated prospect. Just kind of feels like the UFC knows what they're doing here with this fight. Another South African on this card. Give me Cameron Saaiman, but not confident at all. That's probably my least confident pick so far that I've made. And it's crazy because this guy's minus 250 and higher. He's like minus 275 at some books. Give me Cameron Saaiman to win. No. I'm changing. Remix. I'm changing, bro. You can't. No, I'm going with my gut. Go with your gut 2023. That's what we're going to do at Any Action Sportscast. I'm going Mana Martinez, bro. 10-3 Mana Martinez to pull the upset and to win a decision against Cameron Saaiman. Please don't get choked at, Mana Martinez. Please don't get choked. Up next is a fight where I'm way more confident in giving a prediction and a breakdown here. We have Jessica Penne taking on Tabatha Ricci in the women's strawweight division. Jessica comes in with a 14-6 record, currently sitting as a plus 190 underdog. Tabatha Ricci comes in 7-1 record, currently sitting as a minus 230 favorite. Now look at this, guys. A huge 12-year age gap. Jessica Penne is 40 years old, guys. Tabatha Ricci is 28. She'll be 12 years younger. 4 inches shorter, though. Jessica Penne will have a significant size advantage in this fight. She'll be 5'5 compared to Tabatha Ricci's 5'1. 67-inch reach for Penne compared to Tabatha Ricci's 62. Now, I'm going with Tabatha Ricci, man. I'm pretty confident in this pick. I think that she's a better grappler in this fight. I understand that Penne is good as well in the grappling realm, but she's coming off losing to Emily Cody, where she just lost a 15-minute striking fight. She didn't have any answers for the leg kicks from Emily. Whereas Tabatha Ricci, I wouldn't rate as highly of a striker as Emily, but 100%, 1000% way better grappler than to Cody. I understand Jessica Penne will be bigger, and so in those clinch positions along the cage, that is a little bit tricky for me. But I'm pretty confident in Tabatha Ricci, man. Give me Tabatha Ricci to win via decision in a fight that I don't want to call it a setup fight, but she's 12 years younger. I don't think the UFC is expecting anything big out of Penne anytime soon. And Tabatha Ricci, you don't got to look at the screen to notice, super hot. And I think the UFC wants to promote her and have her win here. So I just think that her grappling's too much, man. That win against Polyana Viviane, pretty good win. She's a big, strong girl. She did lose to Amanda Friel. I mean, that's a tough fight. Friel is one of the best in the division. To win the UFC. I like her, man. Give me Baby Shark Tabatha Ricci to win via decision. Up next, we have a bantamweight fight between Farid Basharat and Damon Blackshear. Basharat comes in undefeated 9-0, currently sitting as a massive 450 favorite. Blackshear comes in 12-4-1, currently sitting as a massive plus 340 underdog. Basharat will be 3 years younger, 2 inches shorter, and have a 1-inch reach disadvantage. And I'm going with Basharat here, but I'm pretty surprised at that line, man. Minus 450 on a kid. I think a guy with a lot of experience, man. Blackshear coming off that draw against Yusuf Salah, where he won the first 2 rounds, but got 10-8'd in that 3rd round. That's why it ended up being a draw. Obviously, he gassed out bad in that fight and got dominated in that 3rd round. It was on short notice, so we kind of give him a break on there, like a pass, But other than that, man, he looked good, man. He has good, well-rounded fighter. He has really good submissions, and I like his striking, man. He's good distance management. He's not dumb on the feet. He's not a bad fighter at all. I know he's 12-4-1, but Basharat being minus 450 is pretty insane to me. I'm not going to be parlaying him. I'm not going to be touching this fight, but I really do think that Basharat is well-rounded enough to win this fight wherever it takes place. I think that he's going to be safe on the mat and definitely on the feet. So give me Basharat to win via decision pretty comfortably here, but I'm pretty surprised at that line. So give me Basharat to win via decision. That'll do it for our picks and predictions so far, guys. Before we end the video and give you guys our official bets and how we're going to bet this card, let's run through the card one last time and go over how we think the fights are going to go. Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane, we're going with Gane. Valentina Shevchenko, we're going with Shevchenko. Jeff Neal versus Rakhmonov. Rakhmonov going to win. Gamrot versus Turner, we're going with Gamrot. Davey Pickett versus Bo Nickal, we're going with Bo. I believe these are all favorites so far, not one underdog yet. Cody Garbrandt against Trevin Jones, picking Cody Garbrandt. Derek Brunson versus Duplessis, picking Duplessis. Still all favorites. Our first underdog, Viviane Araujo versus Amanda Ribas. We were picking Araujo. Julian Marquez versus Marc-André Barriault. Very live underdog here, but we are going with Andre Barriault. Ian Machado Garry versus Kenan Song. We're obviously going with Ian Garry here. Mana Martinez versus Cameron Saaiman, another underdog pick. We are going with Mana Martinez. Penne versus Tabatha Ricci, going with Tabatha Ricci. Farid Basharat versus Damon Blackshear, going with Farid Basharat. And I didn't even know that this fight was taking place, so I didn't even look it up. I literally went to record today when I got here. I pulled the topology. I was like, who the hell are these people? But yeah, I'll look into that fight, but I have no idea. So I'm picking for that fight. Go ahead and skip. But with that, let's go ahead and go over our official bets so far for UFC 285. We have 1.5 units on Mateusz Gamrot to defeat Jalin Turner at minus 190 odds. I really think that Gamrot's wrestling is going to be too much for Turner here in this fight. He's going to win a decision or get us a submission here in this fight. And after that, our 3.57 unit shot on Ian Garry, Bo Nickal, Shavkat Rakhmonov, and Valentina Shevchenko. I get it, guys. That's a lot of chalk. It's a lot of chalk we're eating, but I don't care. I'm a chalk donkey. You can call me a chalk donkey. I think this is going to hit with ease. I don't think any of those fighters are going to lose. I think that they all have a chance to finish their opponents, and I just feel super confident about that. So with that, that's our big ticket, our 4-legger for 3.57 units, and we are going to add on to that our second tier ticket. Now, this is like a method I learned from my homie Patrick from Addicted to Combat and the Dogger Pass podcast. Shout out to Cody Saftik. What you'll do is you'll bet your top ticket, usually two tickets, like a 2-legger. But for this one, it's a 4-legger. I feel really confident in all those chalk fights. And from there, we're going to add more. So our biggest ticket, obviously 3.57 units on that. And we're going to bet less and less as we add on more. So the 2 fights we're going to add to that are Tabatha Ricci and Dricus Duplessis. That's now a 6-legger. See what the odds get us on those. And the 2 more after that are going to be, this break is tricky. Go with let's go with Cody Garbrandt. I want to go Gamrot Bar. We'll add Cody, Garbrandt, and then Ciryl Gane. Cody, Garbrandt, and Ciryl Gane. Be another 8-legger. Yeah, we'll see what the odds get us on that. And so, yeah, that'll do it, guys. That'll do it for our bets this week. Thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Again, our bets, 1.5 units on Mateusz, Gamrot, and a 4-legger, Ian Gary, Bo Nickal, Shavkat Rakhmonov, and Valentina Shevchenko. Added on Tabatha, Ricci, Dricus, Plessis for a 6-teamer. And then add on Mateusz, Gamrot, Cody, Garbrandt. We'll see what odds we'll get on that huge parlay. I really think that I might end up on a Ciryl Gane ticket too, right? Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter to see what our bets are going to be throughout the week. And thank you so much for watching, guys. We really appreciate all the support. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think about my picks and my bets. And good luck on your bets this week. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.